Hello everybody, what's going on? Donald Groves here, owner of 86 Worries. I have faith that everyone's having a wonderful day today. So let me make sure this is turned off so we don't have extra noise. Very good. Today we're going into the design of the energy auras with human design. If you don't know anything about human design, go ahead, check me out, 86worries.com, or you can just message me on here, or you can reach me at my Instagram at 86worriesofficial. That's good stuff right there. Building that Instagram up right now, so huge fan if we can get over to at the Instagram at 86worriesofficial. So today we're talking about the energy auras of human design. If you're not familiar with human design, quick rundown. Basically, it's think of it as your personality and your unconscious self, the whisper side. It is understanding that there are multiple components that create this vessel that carries the energy, the spirit of who we are. So knowing the vessel is getting in touch with our energy body, stronger with it. So human design, day and night, personality, unconscious side, waking up to the fact that we are these bodies. But today specifically, we are talking about our energy types, our auras. If you're not familiar with what auras are, it's the energy that is either put out or taken in each human being. And so that's how we're able to tell if there's someone in the next room that we're not gonna get along with, or we know that we get along with someone really well because our auras combine together. Our energy pathways, our energy gateways, our channels, they all work together in human design. So the first design, energy aura design that we're gonna talk about is generators. Now, generators are about 60 to 70% of the population. They are the workforce. If you are a generator, you are here, and your purpose in this life is working, to work. You have such tremendous amount of energy, literally. So here's the reason why, is because your sacral, out of all the energy points on our body, our sacral is in the gut, right around the navel, and generators, or manifesting generators, I'm gonna put these two together, have this sacral defined. What does that mean? So these generators, I'm a manifesting generator, by the way. So as this is, what's really cool is that let me see how this looks. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. As a manifesting generator, I can tell you right now that I have a tremendous amount of energy, but I have to use this energy. We are given this to stay busy, to do work. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean what you do for your work at home. I mean, what you do for your work for your job, but like as a generator or a manifesting generator with this tremendous amount of energy, we are meant to do work in this world. Like I said, not necessarily what you get paid to do, but what you give to this world. Because here's a cool fact about the generator. Since generators make up about 65% of the population, and a generator's aura is always going out. Because here's the thing, if you're a generator, you are not meant to initiate. I know I'm backtracking a little bit. So as a generator, you're not allowed to initiate, meaning you just can't force your way. You just can't be like, this is what I want. I have this thought. I love this thought, and I'm just going to do this thought. It doesn't work that way. So which each energy aura, there comes a not self theme. And this is how we can gauge whether we are paying attention to our design or not. Okay, so frustration. As a generator or a manifesting generator, frustration is your barometer. It is your gauge. It's letting you know whether you're on track or not. In track, on the path, aligned, whatever you want to call it. If you are not aligned, then you are super frustrated, especially if you're a manifesting generator. And if you're a manifesting generator, you're going to have a touch of anger in there as well, too. But we'll get to the manifesting generator in a second. So, as a generator, not forging, not initiating. So that means when you have this thought, it is imperative to patiently wait for what your gut tells you on things that are fed to you in your life. For instance, I don't mean fed to you in your belly, I mean fed to you energetically. So for instance, as a generator, you'll have this thought about quitting your job and getting a new one. Well, as a generator, we just don't initiate. We just don't like, all right, I'm gonna quit. No. First, we have the thought. Now, as a generator, we have to patiently wait for what the universe is gonna give to us on what we're manifesting. So when we get the idea of quitting the job and we pay attention to our design and we patiently wait as a generator, we will start seeing signs of like specific companies hiring, okay? And then you'll get this idea about something along the same job that you're already doing or something even better. You'll get these different messages from the universe, and that's how it works as a generator. Just because you have this insane amount of energy does not mean to go and do. I said do. Does not mean to go out and attack and get it done. Not until you get the go-ahead. When you get the go-ahead, then it's time. As a generator, you have this insane amount of energy. No other energy type has the energy that you do as a generator. First and foremost, though, we have to wait for the right sign, for the right thing that we want to do, patiently. Once we get a couple of signals from the universe, it is time to take action as that generator and use that life force energy and really just dig into it. And so the more and more that generators begin to work in their design, the more and more their auras connect to the Earth's aura. So if this makes sense to you or not, as a generator and a manifesting generator, we are the auras, energy forces that help keep the Earth's aura and energy force pumping and thriving. That's fascinating. It's pretty cool. So that's a generator, the workforce, the workers of the world. And if you think you might know a generator, you will know by simply, if this person that you know that you think is a generator has to wait to be told what to do, more likely they are a generator. Because a generator has this insane amount of energy to do work. They just need a little bit of like, hey, here's a list of what really needs to be done. And then a generator is like, gotcha. And they won't stop for hours and hours at a time until that job is done. Now, so that's a generator. Let's go ahead and talk about manifesting generators. This is a hybrid of generator and a manifester. So the hybrid of this is, as a manifesting generator, first and foremost, you must remember that you are a generator first, as being waiting patiently for the universe to give you action. Hi, Letitia, how are you doing? So waiting as a manifesting generator, waiting for that invitation. No, not the invitation, I'm sorry. Waiting for the right message from the universe to come in. So we'll have the thoughts. As a generator, we'll have these thoughts. I want to quit my job. You know what I mean? I'm not saying me, I'm just giving you as a reference. So wanting to quit your job as a generator or a manifesting generator. So what we're talking about, manifesting generator. So same thing as generator though, is wanting to quit your job, not just taking the action and just doing it like, I'm gonna quit my job. It doesn't work like that. It is waiting for then the universe to respond back to you and your gut, and especially as a manifesting generator in your gut, waiting for that right message to come that's meant for you. And then what's cool as a manifesting generator is that we think quick, super quick. People will tell you sometimes like, hey, you need to calm down and pay attention to one thing. Doesn't work like that. Not as a manifesting generator. We got a buzz town. We got stuff to do. I have a million things to do at once, and I'm only going to accomplish one, maybe two, depending on the day. But that is how a manifesting generator is creative in their life. Super fast. Things are always firing off the universe, and when we get more and more in touch with our design, then we become more and more, we become faster and faster at what the universe shares with us and how we portray it, because we have that sacral defined. We have that life force energy, that engine that is just, woo! Can't even begin to tell you how much energy. Now, also as a manifesting generator, though, we have to have my notes just in case I forgot anything. So, as a manifesting generator, being a hybrid, since we are a generator first and foremost, there is the other part of the hybrid that is the manifestor part. So we're going to talk about manifestors in a little bit. We'll get down to that energy aura type in one moment. But what's good to remember before we get there is that frustration is the not self theme of the generator, and anger is the not self theme of the manifestor. So being a hybrid of both, you're going to get both of those not self themes. You're going to get a touch of anger and a touch of frustration. And that's how you know that you're not following your design. That's how you know you're not aligned. Not self theme is not something to be scared of. In fact, it's good that to start becoming conscious of whether you're frustrated or whether you're angry or any of the others that we're going to talk about, because then we can refocus or re-choose the destination we're going to go to, or we can realign with what's going on. Story time. Many moons ago, I was meeting up to go meet up with a friend for the day and to either go on a date or go shopping or so forth and so on. And so as a manifesting generator, waiting for the responsive life, as I'm filling up my car with gas, I'm getting frustrated because it's a really long drive. I didn't want to make the drive, but I wanted to hang out at the same time. And so then there's that split. So as a manifesting generator, I'm getting upset. I'm getting a little angry and frustrated at the same time. So I literally sat down in the car and I had to ask myself two simple questions. Because as a manifesting generator, I also have a tip for you. Yes and no questions. Do not complicate your life. Yes and no. I promise you it's going to change how you do everything. So what you want for dinner. Don't ask yourself, what do I want for dinner? It doesn't work like that. Ask yes or no questions. Do I want chicken for dinner? Yes or no. As a generator or a manifesting generator, it's literally going to help everything with decision making. I promise you with this. So back to that point though, sorry. On the story. So I sat down and I used my design. So yes and no questions. Do I really want to go on and see this person? Yes. Okay. Do I really want to make this drive? No. But at the same time, it wasn't going to happen unless I did it. So I had to realign with what I really wanted in the long run. Because the tricky part about being a manifesting generator is that our decision making is broken down into a 3-part process. First part is the gut part. When someone first asks us, hey, do you want to go out and hang with us for dinner? You're like, boom, I'm all about it. Let's do this. Second part is getting up to the G center or the ego, the personality. Getting ready, getting dressed, getting cleaned up, this and that. The third and final part is the throat chakra. And that is, if you've ever made all this done and got all this done, you've decided twice that you're going to do this, you go to put your hand on the door, and then you decide, I'm not going to do this. That's the manifesting generator. If I'm not convinced on 3 different parts, I'm not going to follow through with it, more than likely. If you have a friend that's like this, don't get mad at them. They just sometimes are difficult decision makers because they just don't feel it. They're not feeling it. It's that hybrid. It's that manifestor and the generator, and always feeling everything. Always feeling everything. Me being a manifesting generator, I feel almost everything. So those are the generator, and that is the manifesting generator of the world. That, like I said, makes up 60-some% of the population, 70% of the population, the workforce of the world, the energy, the fuel for the Earth's aura. Generators are absolute necessity in this existence. That design is so important. So, on to the third design, which are projectors. Projectors make up about 20 to 30% of the population. Projectors are the directors of the show. They are, if they're not the business owners, then more than likely they're the individuals orchestrating everything going down. Your district managers, your in charge of the show. I was going to try to think of a more elaborate way of explaining this, but there's no need to. The directors of the show. So with that being said, the thing about being a projector is you are such a quantum creature. Well, we're all quantum creatures, but the way you view things and the way you see issues is extremely quantum. You have like 5 or 6 different ways of explaining how to fix something. You know how to fix something 6 different ways. That is highly impressive. Also, with being a projector, you're going to have this unique thing about all of your energy put onto one thing at a time. Yes, you might be able to multitask depending on what other energy types are around you and depending on which of your energy areas are activated or defined. But once again, so this is a good thing to point out. Projectors do not have the defined sacral. You are not an energy creature, my projector. No, not at all. And what brings me to the point about the cycles, the cycle of saving money. As a projector, you're going to want to learn how to save money for rainy days because you're going to get tuckered out. Over a period of time, since you do not have your sacral defined, you do not have that energy flowing like a generator does, more than likely, hi Letitia, how you doing? More than likely, as a projector, you will get tired because, especially with your sacral not being defined, you don't have the energy. But when you're around other generators, you will portray that energy. You'll put that energy out there because since it's not defined, it's taking it in. It's almost like being empathic in a sense, but of other designs. And that's what's really cool about human design is the connection between it. So like for me, I'll have like a hanging gate 27 and someone else will have the other hanging gate completing that channel. And more than likely we'll work well together. And that's what's really difficult sometimes in romantic relationships is that the designs, the 2 human designs match up so well. You really truly believe that this human being completes you. That's the power of design. That's the power of the energy types. Now, there's a lot more to go into what human design is, but today we're just talking about the different energy types. The reason why I was going into the undefined energy area is because, so for myself, my solar plexus is not defined. I take in other people's emotions. So I have to pay attention to when my emotions change. I have to look around and see who's changing them. Now, they're not physically making it. I'm just picking up on the beacon of this energy. They call it empathy, to be an empath, whatever you want to call it. Since my solar plexus is not defined, I'm able to feel other people's energies, emotional energies specifically. So back to the main point. I got off on a tangent. As a projector, your barometer, your not self theme is bitterness. Now, there's going to be a couple ways that you're going to feel bitter as a projector. And this is the hardest thing for the projector to do is waiting for the invitation. You have to wait for the invitation just because you see how to fix the problem so amazingly. Just because you know how to does not mean you're like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you fix this. Because here is the other hiccup is that all our other designs, all this other, the generators, manifestors, everyone else, the moment that you force your opinion in, and I don't say force it, but when you add your opinion in without waiting for the invitation, all other designs are meant to be like, I don't need your advice, pal. Like, back off. You know what I mean? And so that bitterness will come in because you didn't wait for the invitation. You didn't wait for the moment to be like, oh, I don't know how to fix this. I really need your knowledge. And so that's what it really boils down to as a projector, is waiting for the invitation from the people who value your opinion, value your advice, value who you are. As a projector, you are the director of the show. You bring this insane knowledge, this innate way of fixing things in a quantum science way without even realizing it. And you have this special energy. You have the ability to focus all your energy on something to uplift whatever is going on. But the moment that you do not wait for the invitation, for the big things, by the way, job, love, finances, waiting for those invitations and learning how to even hook in a way for someone to invite you in, learning how to talk to the people that you want to help, who are not sure about the message that you bring, the value that you have, because they haven't experienced you quite to the way that other people have. So learning how to go fishing, in a sense, for that invitation. Because the moment you get invited in is the moment that you are thriving, is the moment that you are aligned. That is a good feeling. And I know that most of us have had that feeling where I feel so aligned with who I am and who I'm meant to be. Those moments that we have are the moments that we are following our human design. What's cool about our human design is, for the most part, without even realizing anything about design, we are following the little pieces that are given to us. For instance, my parents have no idea what human design was before I started doing this years ago. And now, looking at what my mom does, my mom is a hermit. So we'll get into the different lines, but she's a hermit opportunist. So that literally means that she will do best if she was a stay-at-home day trader. Ironically, she's a stay-at-home day trader. So it's funny how we eventually, if we're not at the beginning, but eventually will follow our design types. So as a projector, I'll just go back over that real quick. You do not have a sacral defined. That means you do not have the energy like generators do. You are 30% of the population. You are the director of the show. When you finally figure out what makes you tick and your heart tick and what you truly love as purpose in this life. I mean, when you finally figure it out, as a projector at least, and you become the director of the show on this specific subject, and you learn to wait for the invitation, you will never feel another day of bitterness again. And that is completely worth working on as a projector, to stay away from that bitterness, to be aligned, to wait for the invitation, to know your worth. Because as a projector, you have such innate knowledge, and it's absolutely beautiful. Be the projector, be the director, and wait for the invitation. I promise you it will pay off every single time. So we have 2 more energy aura types left. Hi Donato, how are you doing? Excuse me. So 2 left. Manifester. Now I don't want this to get confused with manifesting in life, because everyone's all on the secret, law of attraction, manifesting. We're going to use co-creating for now, because this manifester energy type is a very unique energy type now, because there's less of it than there used to be. So manifestors only make up 9% of the population. 9% of humanity. So that means that these human beings are so rare that when you do meet them, they'll be unforgettable. To give you an example of what a manifestor really is to look at the laws that we live in today. Those laws were created by manifestors. a way to tell about manifestors are a repelling aura. So out of all the energy types, manifestors are the only one that have a repelling aura. They push out instead of taking in. So with that being said, the difference between manifestors and any other energy type is that when you believe and you have this thought that you want to do something and then you feel like you want to manifest this into existence, you have to take action and you have to go forth and get it done. That's the biggest difference between this energy type and all other energy types, is going and getting it done and moving forth to do it. All other energy types must be patient, except for manifestors. So initiate and answer the unknown thoughts, because that's how the universe is talking to you, is through your thoughts, through who you are, to take that action. The not self theme of a manifestor is anger. So once again, let's talk about what the not self theme is. All the not self theme is a barometer of where we are in our alignment of our design. Okay? Meaning that if you are angry, that means you are not aligned with the proper destiny of how you're doing things with your design. So the reason that things might be going not well, because as a manifestor, you are meant to inform. You have this, so this is the throat chakra. The throat chakra is absolutely necessary to manifest things into existence. So as a manifestor, especially if you are the owner of a company or even in your family as a manifestor, it is imperative for you to inform anyone and everyone as to what is going on. When we inform, we begin the process of everyone working with us. We're putting that almost like the magic into the universe and saying, this is what I'm going to be doing, and this is how I was really thinking how you guys can help. So as a manifestor, if we really want to succeed, we want to think of the other counterparts that would help. We want to think, so let me see, Letitia is saying, so manifestors are better or quicker co-creators. So that's the thing, that's the tricky part, Letitia, is a manifestor is just an energy type. Co-creating is everybody can co-create. Now, to answer your question more specifically is, when we begin living and deciding through our design correctly and more in line with who we are as our design, we will begin to co-create faster and faster. So our energy type is one. So that's what I was saying. As a manifestor energy type, there's a difference, Letitia, is as a manifestor, everyone else around the manifestor wants to build a manifestor up. The manifestor is, think about this energy, the king and queens of old. Now, when you ask, are they faster at co-creating? Yes, possibly, if they follow their theme, which is to inform. So, because manifestors are the only one that is capable of forcing their way out there, not forcing, but initiating the way out. And since they're initiating their way out there and they follow through by informing the general party of what to do, then they will co-create very brilliantly. Also depending on what gates and lines and everything like that is activated within their chart. However, I have to be honest with you, as a generator, I'm able to co-create almost maybe just as fast as a manifestor if I follow my design, I follow my authority, I listen to my strategy, and I really pay attention to how to best listen to the universe, trusting that intuition. The only thing I could say is maybe if they are a faster co-creator is because they're able to initiate what they want, depending on if that's what they really want. So as a manifestor, if they do not inform, they'll get shut down and they'll start getting angry because they couldn't manifest what they wanted to. They couldn't co-create what they wanted to. Manifestors are, the reason why there's only 9% of manifestors in society or in humanity is because it's going out. Having those forgers, of Lewis and Clark, manifestors, that forge mentality to push through and create these pathways that are unknown. And that's what manifestors do. That's amazing about it. Manifest your children. We want to learn our children's human design just as much as we want to learn our human design. If you learn that your child is a manifester, more than likely, you're going to want to let this child roam about a little bit. You want to let this manifestor learn that it's okay to trust their thoughts. It's okay to trust the initiation. What we're going to want to do, though, is we want to make up some guide rules with manifestor children. Stuff like just because you have this thought that keeps carrying you to this next idea and next idea, and they'll be streets down before they even told their parents that they left. It's creating small little not rules, but guidelines to help the manifestor children not get in trouble. Because that's what happens with manifestor children, is that they do their own thing. And more than likely, a manifestor is being raised by a generator. And generator needs rules. Got to tell me what to do. I can't make my own decisions. It's just how generators are. But a manifestor energy type is repelling. It's like, I need to go do this. I feel called to follow through with this and to do this. So raising those children, we must, if we can help it as parents, is to learn to allow our manifestors to gain trust of themselves. Because going to what Letitia asked about, do manifestors co-create faster? Yes, if they're taught to take advantage of informing and take advantage of taking action. Once they get those proper thoughts and things feel aligned, before taking action, informing everyone, and then following through with the action. And what's cool is we'll begin to notice that society will build us up as we do this. Let me see. Another important thing about manifestors also is wherever they go, they make an impact. Let me read this. Let me see. Donato, hi. I do astral travel. I visit different places with dead spirits, also relatives, and I am sensitive. I am aware of all this, but sometimes I'm a little afraid. Well, yeah, that's because that's a pretty amazing subject. Astral traveling, that's a beautiful process. Donato, are you consciously doing the traveling, or is it when you are sleeping by chance, when you astral travel? Do you do it on purpose, or is it by accident? I'm just curious. So let's see. So that's manifestors. Wherever they go, they make an impact no matter where they go. That's the coolest thing about manifestors. Since they're the only ones that have a repelling energy, then they also, we're kind of intimidated energetically to be around them, but they're usually the nicest people. Usually the most fun people, because that's their personality, is to make things happen. To make things happen. The signature, when a manifestor is really aligned, they're going to feel at peace. When you feel at peace, that's when you know for a fact that things have really, really gone and aligned up. All right, moving on to the even most rare of all the energy types, and that is reflectors. Reflectors make up less than 1% of humanity. Less than 1%. Reflectors are moon creatures. I don't want to say creatures. That's kind of rude. I don't mean it in a negative way. But they are lunar humans. If you are a reflector, you are very rare. Now, in a human design chart, we have our different energy areas that are either defined or undefined. If you have not seen a body graph, head over to my website, 86warriors.com, and I do believe I have a body chart up. And you'll see different areas. Now, what's cool about reflectors is they don't have any energy areas defined. So that means that they are literally the ultimate empath. I mean, whoever they're talking to or in front of or dealing with, a reflector can feel you to a neurological level. They know if something is wrong, something is amiss, something is unhealthy in your body. They know your environment, if the environment's healthy, if the environment's unhealthy, because they are you. They're literally empathically taking in who you are. And then, here's the cool part about the reflector, is magnifying it and putting it back out to you. So it's highly important to, if you have a reflector in your life, to make sure that environment is as healthy and is, I don't want to say positive, because not everything's positive in this world. Let's just stick with healthy for now. As healthy as possible. Because if it's an unhealthy environment, that reflector is going to magnify it and reflect it back to you into your life. Not fun. And it's not fun for the reflector either. So another cool thing about reflectors, like manifestors and like projectors, is they don't have a sacral defined. Oh, obviously, since they don't have anything defined. But those three, that's what makes generators one of the most badass out of all five of them, is the sacral being defined. That energy force, that energy life force is defined and thriving. That is insane. A reflector does not have a sacral defined. But once again, if a reflector is around any individuals with a sacral defined, they'll take on those attributes and they'll be able to work hard just like anyone else. However, just like the manifestor and just like the projector, the reflector will get exhausted at some point. Because since they took in all that energy, just like a manifestor needs to save up for rainy days, and so does a projector. It's because the universe will humble you. And you will get tired, and because you're not meant to keep working hard, and it's not meant for you. It's not. And as a reflector, it's not meant for you either. I don't want to say working hard, but working long and driving hours are meant for generators. So what's really nifty about reflectors is making decisions. As a reflector, you are a moon creature. You're a moon person. So with that being said, you're going to want to wait 28, 29 days to make a full decision. And the reason why that is because with each week, you are going to kind of change who your energy is depending who you're around. When you're around different people, those energies are going to change. The signature, your alignment is being surprised. When you are aligned, you are surprised. When you are not aligned, you are disappointed. Can someone belong more than a single human design type? So these are just the energy types. And no, I've never seen a reflector / generator before. No, I haven't. What's cool though is so like we have gateways, and we'll get to gateways in a while. That's within our chakras and human design. Different gateways can distribute different things that might seem like another sign. For instance, if you are a projector and you don't have your sacral defined, but you do have a gateway or two of the sacral that's activated, you will feel certain things that could be like a generator, or be like a manifestor, or like a generator. Also, you got to remember, on energy areas that are not defined, Letitia, you will take on other people's designs that are similar to that. For instance, like I'm saying, reflectors have the ability to take on other energy types, energy. So a reflector will take on a generator for a little bit, and we'll feel energized, and we'll feel multitasking and ready to do all this work for a long amount of time. And that is not a reflector's way. But since it's not defined, a projector is the same way. A projector, if they work in restaurants, okay, a projector will take on those generators' sacral energy, and they'll feel energized as well too. But in the long run, they will be humbled and put down for like a week or two of being sick or bedridden or whatever it is. So no, you cannot be more than one energy, but you can certainly empathically take in the energy and distribute it yourself. So that's quite possible, yes. So yeah, that's a reflector. You're a reflect back, signature surprise, 29-day cycle before making decisions as a reflector. So you want to wait to 4 weeks because you do take in that energy every single day. You take in that, or different every week. You have a different thought and a different process. So like quitting your job, just like I used before for the generator. When quitting your job, you know, you're going to, that first week, you put it out there like, I want to work in a completely different industry. And then the second week, you'd be like, oh, maybe I want to stay in the same industry, but a different format of it. Third week, like, oh, I just want to probably not quit my job at all. Fourth week, whatever that decision would be. And so that's the reflector. But yeah, so that's all the energy types for the day. If you have any questions about human design, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to. Literally everything is signed 86 Worries. My YouTube channel, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, it's 86 Worries. My Instagram, which I'm working on building right now, is at 86 Worries Official. Website, 86worries.com. Facebook, 86 Worries, or Donald Groves the third. And yeah, I have some answers if you're interested in human design. If you don't have any idea about this, or if you want to know more about your own human design chart, please. This is something that is really either growing. I don't want to say growing because I don't want to be cocky about it, but it's important to start understanding our design, because shadow work is the name of the game to really grow, to raise our habitual vibration. And human design, knowing your human design, offers the lantern that shines into the lights of the shadows and shows us the areas that we could be negative or shadow or positive in our life. You are great, Letitia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so grateful for everyone stopping in and watching the show. Thank you. Next week, we're going to continue talking about human design. We're just going to keep talking about human design. I love human design, and I want to continue growing this knowledge more and more. So, till next week, do your best and 86 the rest. Namaste.